What's up, Orseofkorse? Today we're going to be looking at the Flippy Flipped Out mod, and even though it's an unfinished build, the mod is beautifully done, and I think we need to explain it and then talk about each of the important characters in the mod, of course Flippy and all the other Happy Tree Time friends. Now, if you're like most people, you're probably wondering how boyfriend and girlfriend keep ending up in all these crazy situations. But in their defense, this time boyfriend was just taking girlfriend out to the forest in order to have a picnic with her. So he was trying to do something cute for girlfriend. Flippy and the other Tree Time friends were also out in the woods playing hide and go seek, and that is until Flippy actually loses his tags. Now, Flippy is a military guy, so these tags are very important to him. His friends also recognize this, which is why they're trying to help him find them. As Flippy and his friends are looking for his tags, boyfriend is in the background messing with his microphone. And eventually the microphone starts to make this horrible screeching sound that reminds Flippy of planes flying overhead when he was in the war, triggering his PTSD. And this is when Flippy's alter ego takes over and he begins to confront boyfriend. But here's where it gets a little bit weird. He doesn't actually see boyfriend the human. He sees a blue tiger soldier instead. And if you are familiar with some of the cartoons featuring Flippy, you'll notice that whenever he's fighting in a war, they always portray the soldiers as these blue tigers. Now, for people who know Flippy, we know that the fact that boyfriend is a blue tiger doesn't really change the fact that Flippy was probably going to murder everybody, or at least try to murder everybody anyway, but it does add an extra layer to the mod. Now let's talk about some of the important characters in this mod, starting of course with Flippy. Now, as many of you probably already know, Flippy is the main antagonist in the Happy Tree Times friends, and even though he doesn't make a lot of appearances in the show, when he does pop up, it usually ends up with him killing everybody, or just about everybody. And I'm not talking about like some accidental deaths where he slips and stabs somebody. No, I mean, he goes out of his way to kill people in the most horrifying, traumatizing ways possible. And a kind of sad, kind of fun fact is that a lot of people who watch the Happy Tree Friends were actually children, because on the surface, the cartoon didn't look violent, but once you actually got in there, it was actually horrible. Flippy is actually a perfect example of this. On the surface, he looked like a kind-hearted bear who was kind of shy around people and just happy to be invited to the party. But as shown in this mod and in various episodes in the web series, Flippy literally goes insane whenever he hears any sound that reminds him of being in the war. Now, while I don't agree with Flippy killing people, the reason that he has PTSD is very much valid. For anybody who has seen the Happy Tree Times friend Ka-Pow Operation Tiger Bomb, you will understand exactly what I mean when I say it's valid. When Flippy was on a mission with two of his comrades, Sneaky and Mouse Kaboom, both of his comrades end up getting killed, and the only way that Flippy is able to escape momentarily is to hide in one of his friends' bodies, specifically Sneaky's. And as he's hiding inside of his friend's body, you can see this naturally good little green bear slowly start to lose his sanity until he eventually literally explodes out of his friend's body, wielding what I assume is Sneaky's spine and his femur, and he starts to just destroy all the blue tiger soldiers. Ka-Pow Flippy in this mod is actually a reference to that episode, because as you see, both of his arms are completely destroyed and all that are left are the bones, which he also used in the episodes to completely destroy his enemies. The second character we see alongside Flippy in this mod is actually Flaky, who is the red porcupine from Happy Tree Friends. It's very interesting to see Flaky and Flippy in this mod, because in the actual cartoon, Flaky was super afraid of Flippy, to the point where in one episode, she literally stabs him in the eye because he's trying to help her, and she doesn't realize that in order for his dark side to come out, he actually has to be triggered by something. But after watching the show, it kind of makes sense that Flaky would be afraid of Flippy, considering that she's afraid of almost everything. Now, something else that's interesting about Flaky is that for a long time, there was a big debate about her gender, and many people thought that she was actually a boy. And there's various reasons behind that, but a lot of it was because of the voice acting and also the way that Flaky is portrayed a lot of the time. She's very tomboyish, but it has since been confirmed on Twitter and Facebook that Flaky is definitely a girl. Now, I feel like I wouldn't be doing this video justice if I didn't give you some facts about Flippy specifically, because as we see in this mod, Flippy and Flippy are definitely different entities, even though they are sharing the same body, right? Flippy is literally this kind-hearted bear, while Flippy is trying to murder everything. I think the developers did a very good job at showing this divide, especially when they had that translucent version of Flippy trying to hold himself back. It gives very much Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde vibes. Now, a brutal fact about Flippy is that even though he did make a lot of appearances in the actual show, as of now, he has well over 100 kills. What's even more crazy than that is that he is not technically the person in the show that has the most kills. I believe that honor goes to Lumpy, which is this huge, very stupid giant moose. What's even worse about this is that Lumpy isn't even evil. He's actually a fairly good character who's just super clumsy and usually kills people on accident. And another fun fact for kicks and giggles, the person who has actually had the most deaths in the show so far is Cuddles, who usually dies in the most brutal of fashions. Now, another interesting fact that the mods dropped is that they're going to be adding more characters to this mod because obviously it's an unfinished build right now, so some things will be changed. And they're going to make sure that the characters they add into the game fit the art style. Right now, the only one that we have is Flaky. And something interesting about her being in the mod is that back in the day, people used to really ship Flippy and Flaky, but they've already confirmed that they're just going to be friends in this mod. So for all my shippers out there, that's not going to be happening when this mod is fully released and finished. Let me know what character from Happy Tree Friends you would like to see added to the mod first. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to click this video on the screen to check out all the versions of Mickey Mouse and Friday Night Funkin'. Thank you for watching. This is Orseofkorse. Peace, peace.